Hey, Farmer Mike here. I normally do written, unsolicited editorials, but I wanted to try something different this time. A lot of things going on. People are really upset for, obvious reasons. Uh, Even people that are normally non-political, but it got personal. And I understand that. My mom is normally not political, uh, has said some things. My sisters normally don't uh, indulge in politics. Have said some things, gotten a little pushback I thought was out of line. Um, my wife has said some things. I've posted some things. Um, my 13-year-old daughter, we had a talk with her last night. Things have gotten a little crazy. Things that we thought were settled. Things that we were told by the people that made this decision were settled. Turned out to be not settled. We have a long history of people telling us who they are and us still voting for them. We have a long history of falling for the con man or con person, I guess. I don't know that how we got here is as important a conversation as where we go from here. To me, where we go from here is more important than how we got here. Because how we got here, okay, I don't know. I do know how we got here, but we're here. Let's move forward. All right. Extremism, there is extremism in both parties. Yes. But we have to understand the concept, the fact, really, that one party is actually completely controlled by extremism. Completely controlled by people that want to set up a theocracy. And the actual irony of the whole situation is that's the party that's claiming absolute allegiance to the Constitution and the Founding Fathers. Now, if you've read anything I've written in the past, I don't know how many years I've been doing these in written form, I have written over and over about the Founding Fathers. I have cited sources, secondary sources, which would be people that wrote about them, and primary sources, which was them writing to each other, okay? And I've written over and over about these people. And I'm not a historian. I really am not. Full-fledged. I'm a dirty construction worker. That's what I do. That's who I am, all right? But I have spent more time reading about and from these people than anybody that doesn't actually get paid to do it. Honestly. I spent over a decade reading the Founding Fathers, either about them or from them. Mostly from them. I went to Monticello, Thomas Jefferson's home, and I was really excited to go through it. I was really excited to get to the bookstore, and I found one book that I didn't have. And that's how deeply I dived into them. And if you want to come at me with your version of them, that's fine. But one, cite your source. And two, get ready. Because we'll go. I'm fine. We'll go. But I said all that to say this. And I've said this earlier in another post. Thomas Jefferson, for all his flaws, wanted three things on his tombstone. He wanted writer of Declaration of Independence. Okay, I'll give you that. You plagiarized a little bit of it. Give Mason his props, but I'll give you that. Creation of the University of Virginia. Okay, it's right down from your mountain. You created it. I'll give you that. And three, the freedom of religion. That was one of the three things. Of all the things that Thomas Jefferson is known for, that's one of the three things he wanted to be specifically remembered for. Freedom of religion. He worked his whole life for that. And we can have another discussion about who he was and what he did, and that's fine. I'll take that discussion separately. I get it. But he was what we would refer to as one of the founding fathers, correct? Right? Maybe third, fourth foundingist. You know, you got Washington, you can say John Adams. I mean, you can throw a couple names in there, but Jefferson's up there in the hierarchy, right? But one of the things he was most proud of was his attack on the way religion was treated by government. And if you want to really keep that Constitution that Madison wrote up, even though it was Gouverneur Morris that actually wrote it, but that's details there. Madison designed it. If you want to keep that, if you want to keep those first 10 amendments, and that one Madison did write, that's documented. I'll cite my sources if called out, but you cite your sources if I call you out. That's the game now. But Madison really believed in that. Jefferson fully believed in that. For all his faults, for all Madison's faults, for all the founding fathers' faults. Most of them were agnostic at best. There were several atheists in there, and none of them wanted to have religion rule the new nation. That's part of the Declaration of Independence, though they didn't really get to it fully until the Constitution. Took a little time. Bunch of old white guys are not known for moving quickly, philosophically speaking, or any other way. Anyway, you can't make laws and you can't stop laws. And we can have a whole nother discussion about the role of the Supreme Court, yada, yada, yada. We can do all that later too. But what you have to keep in mind right now is that extremism currently has completely ruled one party. This is not the party of Eisenhower. This is not the party of Reagan. This is not the party of Bush Sr. or Bush Jr. or Mitt Romney or McCain. This is the party of the GQP. This party is now ruled by alt-right extremists. You can see it every day if you turn off Tucker Carlson for 5 minutes. There's a reason that Fox News would not even do commercials during the first night of the hearings on January 6th, because they know that in a commercial, you might tune to another channel for 30 seconds and get hung up on what they're showing. All right? So, yes, there's a room for moderates in this country, but right now, there are no moderates in the Republican Party. Paul Ryan was chased out of the Republican Party as being too rhino. Okay? He resigned and said, I've had enough. And for a decade, he was the far right. Keep that in mind.